Great. Okay, so today I am talking with one of our authors. A lot of you probably know this author very well, but for those of you that don't, I'd like to introduce author Courtney Davis. She is the author of 12 published titles with 5 prints, and she just recently released one just this past Tuesday. And I'm going to let her jump in here and tell us all about that book. So, Courtney, why don't you tell us all about your most recent release?
Yeah, so having the Werewolf's Baby just released, and it is the second in my Chaotic Conceptions series. The first one was having the werewolf or the vampire's baby. So it's along the same lines where a human woman goes to a fertility clinic, has artificial insemination. But a chaos-causing goddess decides she's gonna switch it up, and this time she's given a werewolf's sperm, and it just happens to be also the sperm of her grumpy neighbor. So it was a lot of fun to write. It's kind of a grumpy sunshine thing. And obviously with the werewolf thing going on,
Yeah.
it was really fun. This whole series has been just a blast to write.
It's been a really fun series to promote and talk about as well. So I love that. You already mentioned it's Grumpy Sunshine, which are the main personality dynamics. Are there any other personality dynamics between Onyx and Aurora?
Yeah, he's kind of a loner and she's very social, so that kind of comes into play there. It's kind of got a small town vibe as well, and she's very well known and popular, and everyone's kind of scared of him. So, yeah, and was raised with very free spirit. Her mom's a big hippie, and her dad's a cop, so she's kind of got both personalities that she kind of grew up with. And he was raised real strict in his pack and broke out of that, but has not varied from that feeling of being very in control of everything.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. And I love a Grumpy Sunshine. I think most of our romance readers really enjoy Grumpy Sunshine. And I know this isn't even your first Grumpy Sunshine that you've written. So, just from that writer's perspective, what is it about Grumpy Sunshine pairings that just never gets old?
I think it's fun to watch the grumpy embracing some of the sunshine stuff and realizing that they actually kind of like that a little bit. And it's always special when he's only letting down that guard for her
Mhm.
and nobody else. So it's a fun dynamic for sure.
Yeah, yeah, it's a fun dynamic to read, and I'm sure it's also a really fun dynamic to write as well.
Yeah.
So we've got Onyx, who is our grumpy werewolf, and Aurora, who is our sunshine human, who obviously they inevitably fall in love, but they kind of start off at odds with each other. And so I thought it would be funny to ask if Onyx had to describe Aurora in 3 words, what would they be? And how different would Aurora's words for Onyx be?
I think that he would describe her as sunshine, infuriating and annoying. But then he might add in a little bit of perfect there
Yeah.
too. And she would see him as just without, I don't want to say grumpy, so she would say that he was oh my gosh, I even thought of this earlier and now I forgot what I wrote, um, what I said. But she would look at him and think that he was um, standoffish and frustrating in his own ways. So I think they would agree on each other's frustration. Um, yeah, I can't think of a third now. I wrote it down earlier.
That's okay. No, it's funny because their words are a lot more similar than I think you would assume these two opposite
Yeah.
personalities to have. They have very similar views of each other.
Yes, they do, definitely.
So this is not your first werewolf slash shifter romance. You've written a few of those before. Um, and in this story in particular, a big part of kind of the plot is his werewolf instincts.
Yeah.
And so, with that playing such a major role, did you approach writing that more from a biology perspective, a magic perspective, or an emotion perspective? And how is that different from your other novels?
Um, I I kind of I, I always do it with some magic. It always,
Mhm.
to me, it feels like it needs to have that little touch of magic to it of like, this isn't, it's not realistic. It's fiction and it's magic fiction.
Yeah.
And so I always approach it with a little bit of the magic in it, but definitely then the developing the emotion part of it. Yeah, it's got that pull from his wolf saying this is not only is this my child she's having and that matters, but then also, hey, maybe this is also the person that I want to be with. So
hmm hmm Is that different from some of the other werewolf or shifter books that you've written, or do you kind of stick to a very similar system for that?
I think I stick to a pretty similar system for that. Like I said, I like it to kind of explain away the instant love, which
Hmm
some people don't like, but I do. But it helps with that. If it's magic, of course it can be instant.
Right. Yeah. Of course, love at first sight is real.
Right? Yeah.
So kind of going off of the pregnancy aspect of this book, accidental pregnancy is a very familiar trope in romance novels. I know some people love it, some people hate it, some people are indifferent, but either way, it pops up a lot. But this specific version is actually pretty unique, and I would say it's not that accidental, at least
Right.
for half of the party involved. Um,
Yeah.
so, what did you want to do differently with this series, and especially with that artificial insemination planned pregnancy aspect?
Yeah. I kind of wanted to make the pregnancy trope more fun. And so with it being intentional on the female's part, that they wanted to be pregnant and they didn't need a or care for a man to be involved at all, kind of takes it, um, makes there's no stress for her. It
Mhm.
really is easy for her. She's having a baby. She's very happy. Does it happen to be a different species? But that's fun too. Um, and then and it works because he's a different species, and so for him the it's not, oh my gosh, this girl's pregnant with my child, even though they donated the sperm and there's that whole aspect of it, but um it brings in that attachment, that immediate attachment to the child,
Mm,
even though they like in having the vampire's baby they didn't even know each other before. In this one they do, but they're kind of enemies.
mhm.
And but that them not being human gives it that extra like getting over that like hump, to where they don't have to just accept it because, oh my gosh, she's having my baby and this
Mhm.
is it's again it brings in that magical piece that kind of explains it in a way that is acceptable and realistic in a magical universe versus like if it was just a couple of boring humans like
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And so this is the second book in this series. Um, is it the same chaos goddess that we are dealing with in this series? And do we get to see any cameos from the first book's characters?
Yes, so it's the same fertility clinic. So it's the same witch Felicity that is causing these problems based on her vision from the same goddess that is causing these problems. And although this couple lives a little bit in a different like town outside of that city, there is a little bit of a crossover from his past
Mm,
that you'll see. Although, the books really aren't connected in a way where you would feel like, oh, I need to read the other one to understand anything. It's definitely not that. It's more of a feeling of like it happens in the same area. You know.
Nice. Yeah, so definitely interconnected universe,
Yes.
but can also be read as a standalone.
Yes. Yeah.
Wonderful. Um, so this story, along with the first one a little bit as well, but this story asks about whether fate or choice is really in control. So do you think Aurora and Onyx were destined, or did chaos simply just shove them together?
Um, I think that there was a little bit of destiny involved. Like my vision of the chaos goddess is that she knows that it's going to work out. She's not just trying to cause problems, but it's like going about it in a way that's could be problematic.
Yeah.
Um, and so I think that there is a destiny piece there for those two, which you get with the werewolf instincts. But definitely, she wanted it to be a fun, a fun story for them to tell.
Yes, I love that. I love the Chaos Goddess. I think that that is just the greatest. Um, so along with that, since this is it's technically a rom-com, is what you would consider it. How do you still keep the tone very light and fun while also still giving emotional weight to something as life-changing as pregnancy and all the other things, emotional things these characters deal with?
Yeah, I think that starting out with it being such a strong drive of Aurora's to have a baby really helps it to stay light because there's not an accident and it's nothing. And then even as her and Onyx start to deal with like how are we gonna be parents living next to each other, it all stays very very easy. There's no major nobody's violently upset. No, so it really does stay like, hey, this is just kind of a cool situation we're in now. What are
Mhm.
we gonna do? Um, and so I kind of kept it like that. I really didn't want it to feel like a tragedy of any kind. I definitely I didn't want Aurora to lose her joy of having a baby just because it happens to be not what she picked out.
Yeah, yeah. I just love this concept of bringing in the pregnancy trope through artificial insemination. I think even without all the other unique factors, that's such a unique way to bring that trope forward. Um, and something that I was thinking about that I thought was very interesting was bringing in the aspect of choice for both characters,
Mhm.
where, she's obviously choosing she wants to have a baby, but at some point, the MMC also chose to donate. So
Yeah,
there's this point where you're like, well, I did,
yeah, yeah,
I think that alone already makes it very funny. So,
yeah.
um, without giving anything, any spoilers or anything away, what was your favorite part about writing this novel?
Um, I think that my favorite part about this novel was Aurora's character. I thought she was so fun, of a person, just so free and independent, but also really strong. And I really enjoyed writing that. And I mean, with both of these books, I've loved writing women who are taking that control and choosing their destiny kind of I enjoy that. So I think just writing her character was my favorite part.
Yeah. What kind of reader do you think is going to love this book the most?
I think any romance reader who enjoys the paranormal aspects will like it. It's kind of a slow burn. It's got the spice there, but it's not overly spicy. And so always, I mean, if you're, I always like to warn people
Yeah.
what level they're getting. Um, So I think any romance reader who enjoys paranormal side, and it's it's fun to do the paranormal where it's part of society as
Mhm.
well. So that's what I'm doing with this series where all these creatures are known about, which makes it kind of a different fun thing as well.
Speaking of spicy, so this is one of your spicy open door romances. What is the heat level for our readers?
I would say it's probably like a three on the spice. Like I said, it is a slow burn, so you're not getting a lot of repeated spice. But there's definitely got it at the end. Very fun. So, yeah.
Wonderful. Is there anything else that you want readers to know before reading Having the Werewolf's Baby?
I don't think so. I don't think I have any, there's no triggers in it that I can think of. And it's just should be a fun read for anybody who's looking for that. And there's no surprise pregnancy.
Yeah.
One thing that I thought was I was loving with these titles is that I'm going to tell you exactly what you're getting.
Exactly. Yes, it's all and even with the covers too. But I
Yes.
love the style of the covers, but they both have a very prominently pregnant woman on the cover.
Yes, I did not want anyone to pick it up and then be disappointed that,
Yeah.
that there's a pregnancy trope.
I actually, and I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think these books in this series might actually be good for readers who maybe do hate that accidental pregnancy trope
Yeah,
because there is no accidental part of it, but being pregnant and having babies is kind of part of life sometimes. And so it's a
yeah,
way, I think, to digest a pregnancy romance without it being, you know, 50% of the way in, oh, she's feeling nauseous.
right. Yes, yes, I agree. I think so. I think even if you don't like the surprise pregnancy trope, that you'll like these because yeah, it's not a surprise and it's what they're dealing with a real life situation through that and falling in love. So.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So what can our readers expect next from you? Are there more books planned for this series? Are there new series coming out? What are you working on?
Yes, so I'm working on a third one for this series, and I can't wait to talk to you about that one because, in a weird way, it was the first one that I planned, and
Oh,
it's the third one I'm writing. So, but I don't want to give anything away. And so I'm working on that. So it'll be out later this year, and I have a series I'm re-releasing this year, and that'll come out sometime this year if I can power through it.
yeah.
It's been a long time coming, and I don't know. I need to figure out what I'm writing next. I've got lots of ideas, and I plan to take time to write something brand new soon, not in this series, and not something that I'm re-releasing. So I'm excited about that.
Yay. Yes, that is exciting. Bernadette and I always chat about you've always got something cooking up, and I
Yes.
love seeing everything that comes through. So definitely, readers, keep your eye out for that third book in this series. And then also, like Courtney said, we will be re-releasing one of her series that she wrote a while ago, and that'll be really exciting as well. And then I can't wait to hear all about what you've got new cooking up for us as well.
Yes.
As always, I like to let our readers know where can readers find and connect with you online.
Yeah, I try to be on the main social medias. I'm probably on Instagram and TikTok the most. I'm on Facebook. Some of the other ones I check not as much, but I'm there. I also have a newsletter that I do once a month and my website that I try to keep updated.
Yeah.
My least favorite thing to do.
Same.
Um, but yeah, I try to be out there and always just talking about what I'm writing and reading. So.
Yeah, wonderful. So search for author Courtney Davis on all those major platforms, like she mentioned. Connect with her about her books. I know you love hearing from readers. Yeah, and we will chat about the next one when it comes up soon.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you, Courtney.
Thank you.